you will not be displeased. Also have with me the 4 co-hosts of the Thunderdome podcast. And let me...
Austin, are you streaming?
Yes.
Give me a second. Let me
What up,
stream
mate?
too.
Hang on.
Hey.
It's your boy.
Hang on, let me get my stuff ready.
It's your boy, Tommy Bahama.
It's
So
your boy
our
what?
title is going to be Thunderdome Midweek Gaming Review. Today's game is Gears of War.
We'll put Gears of War series, 'cause I think we can knock out the whole series
Okay.
pretty adequately.
So
Mine just
what
says
is it?
review, Gears of War series.
Okay.
So, I do have a, I am going to hop over to Gears of War 2. I've been playing that. Also, for anyone that is a fan of as I label myself, the Big Chunga Studios story runs. Even though Radio Kid is like, fuck you, and you just go home and kill yourself. No one listens to your, or watches your streams anyway. That's okay.
Damn straight.
Damn. Playing through bits of it. Where do you guys want to start? I mean, we could do release date start. We could do chronological release start.
Hang on, I'm not ready yet.
It's been forever since I think I want to say the first one came out in like 2008 or 7.
2006 or 7, actually.
7 or 6. Yeah.
It was a long time ago. I
Well,
can't remember exactly when it came out, but
yeah,
I remember when it came out.
Remember,
for
it
sure.
was the first one was a launch. It was a launch game. It was there at the beginning. So when the Xbox 360 launched and the platform was released to the public, Gears of War was one of the first games they put out. So
Yes, I remember
was,
that, which I was happy with that.
yeah, yeah. So you have that.
Alright.
Well, we'll start with Gears 1, I
starting
guess.
In 3, 2, 1.
You should have already started.
Damn.
Alright, now I'm sorry. I'm
Alright.
on. I'm live.
Well, this is a new thing we're doing. I guess midweek, probably next week. It'll likely be later in the week. Times will fluctuate this one because it's the midweek, so we have work schedules and whatnot. Sometimes it won't be all of us. Sometimes
Life
it'll be
stuff.
2 of us.
We
Shit
have
happens.
lives.
We do have lives. We do have lives outside of this. Well, we'll start with Gears of War 1. I mean, it was a platform release, the 360 back in 2007, 8,
6, 7.
7.
Here.
I want to say
6 to 8.
6, 7, or 8. Yeah, between 2006 and 2008. I don't know the time right in front of me.
Still
Gears
good
of War 1
times.
came out. Still great game. Kind of difficult, kind of not. I mean, but gameplay was good. It was a new type of game. It was coming around the same time. It came out before Halo 3, but I think it came out. It was it was one of the first 360 shooters that came out, and it played differently, right? It utilized more of a cover system. It was third person. It wasn't, when you sprinted, you didn't even stand up right. You kind of like hunched over and like you kept your head down while you ran. They call it the roadie run. I'm actually playing Gears of War 2 right now. I just finished the Gears of War 1, the Ultimate Edition playthrough yesterday. I mean, I don't know. Just those starting notes. What do y'all have?
Well, I know you said that they had a multiplayer, but then of course I was more focused into the single player. Of course, the story mode is where it was at.
Yeah, I never played multiplayer until maybe Gears 2.
Gears 2.
Yeah, Gears 2 is when I started playing multiplayer.
Yeah, I know it had multiplayer, but if you didn't have Xbox Live, it wasn't. I mean, you weren't playing multiplayer. Back then, I didn't have Xbox. I don't think I got Xbox Live until roughly 2000 and I want to say 2009, 2008, 2009 is when I first got an Xbox Live. I didn't care for it at first, and then all my friends were like, "Yeah, play on Xbox Live," and I was like, "Fuck, I gotta get on Xbox Live now." Um,
Yeah,
I
I
did like
remember
the
seeing, of course, the Lancer and the Chainsaw. I remember seeing that for the
yeah,
very first time. That was crazy and good.
definitely came out swinging as one of the more gory, graphically violent 360 games. Really, at that time, one of the more gory and graphically violent games at all. Really, I mean, like people really competing with it for violence and just gruesome content was maybe Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even I mean, Call of Duties at that point had anything like that. So, um, well, moving on from that, I mean, it also had some of the best graphics, though. I remember
Oh
playing
yeah.
Gears of War for the first time, thinking, "Yo, those graphics are clean." And I remember I was playing it, and I had like one of my uncles on my mom's coming to visit, and he was like, "This shit looks like a fucking movie," and I was like, "It does, it really does" to me at the time. I mean, we hadn't seen graphics that good, really, ever. It was pretty unprecedented. None of the original Xbox games had it. None of the, I mean, Halo 1 and Halo 2 didn't come close. The Call of Duties that were on the OG Xbox didn't come close. It just was a thing. So,
I think this was probably the one game that caught my eye on on very good graphics. Like I
oh
think
yeah,
graphics
oh yeah.
wise.
I have the exact release date for Gears of War.
What is it?
This is November 7th, 2006.
Woo! Damn, this is no
So I knew it was around that time.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was a launch title for the 360 as a platform. So,
Yep.
Mhm.
Which is about the time the 360 came out too. So,
mm-hmm.
and those were good times as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were simpler days.
And now you pay
We weren't even in high school yet. Those were times when we could be young and innocent and stupid.
$500 for a new Xbox now.
God damn.
Or
I don't know
a,
if I'm gonna get.
Xbox that looks like a mini fridge.
Yep. It really does, though. It really does. But we've got after graphics, you have single player, and I really liked it. I thought you had a relatively compelling story. You had characters that were equally parts likable as they were badass, without just being like they still, even though they seem to be nothing more at first glance than two alpha males waving their alpha male cocks around while wearing half a car's worth of fucking armor. You actually kind of like characters, right? Even the second player character Dom was equally badass to Marcus, and they did a good job showing that. They didn't do too much of like emotional depth, so you didn't really get to learn much about these characters. It wasn't that big of a. You didn't. I don't think you became too attached to them outside of the idea that like they were just super badass. But as you played the game, it was, it was way better.
Yeah, that's for sure. I
Mm-hmm.
I agree with Dom being a secondary badass with Marcus, and then
Yeah.
of course then you got the Cole train.
Cole, Baird. You had Carmine. You had Kim.
Carmine for like 5 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, he got his head
Well,
blown
towards
off.
the end. Yeah.
Yeah. No, he died.
No, it was early.
That was
It was in the first act before you take over, before Marcus becomes the squad leader.
yeah.
Because remember y'all in that courtyard and he gets sniped.
Mm-hmm.
And
the little pothole thing. Yeah.
yeah, no, y'all behind that piece of cover and he like pops his head up,
Jeez,
trying to show the jam and gets his head blown out.
Yeah, that was
Um,
sad.
Yeah, it was rough.
Wasn't
But,
unexpected at that time.
yeah, I would say, I mean, our multiplayer, we kind of crossed on that. I mean,
How was
it was
multiplayer
okay.
on the first Gears?
It was all right. I think it needed some work. But it was they really nailed it and knocked it out of the park with Gears 2 onward. Came to multiplayer, especially Gears 2. I remember playing the absolute pants off of Gears of War 2's multiplayer with friends, playing Horde mode, playing fucking Just all the little
Horde
game
is
modes
where
they
it's
gave
at.
us. Horde was awesome. They also had I think in Gears 3 or Gears 4, they had the alternative mode where you played as a locust who killed cog soldiers rather than the cog soldiers trying to survive the locust horde. So it was a fun little take on that. Instead of being the guy that's just trying to make it out alive, you're the one just fucking them up, and it was interesting. So
Yep.
I don't know, not too much on multiplayer. I would say the difficulty curve, again, you had recruit, normal, hardcore, and insanity. We'll just say, because unless you played recruit for the narrative, then recruit was kind of boring. Which like I did it for the narrative, but I didn't play for. I didn't do it much after that.
I just did it just to get through the story and at least not die 1,000 times.
Yeah, normal was kind of difficult, right? I mean, you had enemies like the snipers that would fuck you up in a few shots. You had guys, you had the Troika turrets that would hurt you. The 3 Berserker boss battles, the Corpser boss battle. You had ROM, and if you played the Gears of War Ultimate Edition, which is basically an anniversary version with an extra act of levels, you also had a Brumok fight. And they weren't too difficult, you just had to, you had to not be an idiot. The Berserker ones were, the first 2 were like, alright, have them, get them out in the open, use the Hammer of Dawn, burn them to a crisp, and your number 2 buddy will just shoot the fuck out of them. The third one on the train, you had to figure out, you had to improvise. You either had to like get him to the back of the train and then disconnect the carts, or you had to throw the grenade or the boom shot at the fuel tank and blow it up to kill it.
Yep.
That was interesting. I mean, it was fun though. It was challenging, and then when you got into higher difficulties, it was even more so. I don't know how y'all felt about it. I know Austin said he just wanted to play it without dying 1,000 times.
Yeah,
I
I would never go to hardcore or what was it, Insanity? I can't remember what it was.
Insanity, yeah. I tried with Jordan one time with Spinal Trauma, our buddy from back in the day. That was holy fuck. That was rough.
Yeah, I could never do that, and I'd rather just play through the game, at least enjoy it, not like can't get past like the first. You can't make one step and then you're dead.
Yep. I just, like I said, when I finished playing this one time, I noticed that the boomers always nailed the perfect reload, so their boom shot would fire, and then the explosion would have a bunch of other miniature explosions accompanying it, so if you didn't dodge it completely, you almost always got blown the fuck up. And the one difference that Gears of War has over every other installation of the series is that when your health bar went all the way down, or your Crimson Omen filled all the way up on the center of your screen, you just died, right? There was no going down and getting revived by a teammate. It was no, you die. You die right away.
Yep.
So that was one kind of irritating thing. If you played, 2 or 3, then you went back to playing 1. Replayability, I would say it's pretty replayable. I would go back and replay Gears of War 1.
I'm just happy I'm able to get it still through backwards compatibility through my Xbox X, Series X.
Yep, if you have Xbox
Or
Ultimate
Xbox
Game
One,
Pass,
not the new one.
you can download the original version of Gears of War 1, or you can also
Get the Ultimate Edition.
download the Ultimate Edition, which is I say it's nice. It's got revised graphics. It's got some pretty high quality gameplay itself. I love the new level. Like I said, it's pretty great.
I enjoy probably basically all the Gears of War besides 5, but
5 wasn't that.
the
bad. Don't let the Kool-Aid against 5 make you hate it.
just the camera angle, instead of it being all first person, it's like it's third person, kind of like feels like Resident Evil, but it's
Kinda, yeah.
I mean,
It's
that's
not
what it
bad,
was.
I like it.
Has been for like 1 through 3 or 1 through 4 and whatnot. I mean, you're third person.
I like the view it gives you for for at least all the Gears of War games. Of course, that's never changed, which I'm okay with.
Yeah. All right, Gears of War 2. I mean, I'm playing that right now. Honestly, if I'm being completely honest, it's my favorite Gears game. If I'm being completely real with you.
I gotta play through it again. I can't really. It's been a long time since I played that one. I know I'm
It's
just getting
fun,
a
man.
refresher course on the first one again since you and I were playing it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a
Ty
lot of
was
fun.
a pretty good character.
Ty was good. I hated how they killed him off. I liked Ben Carmine. He seemed kind of innocent and stupid. I liked the idea behind him, though. It's like, oh, it's cool. It's Carmine's brother. And then he actually lasts a little longer than his older brother. You know what? 2 and 3 really... For Dom, it was 2 had his emotional storyline go through, right? I mean...
Yeah.
Listen, this is not a spoiler. This game has been out for over a decade now. So, Gears of War 2, Dom, you find out, you kind of hint that Dom's looking for his wife in Gears of War 1, and that she got either taken or killed by the Locust, possibly, and he hasn't seen her since E-Day, maybe, or after that. And obviously there's, like, comic books and novels written about the Gears of War series as a backstory.
I have 4 books for the Gears of War series.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
4. Yeah, 4. 4 books. I don't know what their names are, but they're Gears of War series books.
Yeah. But 2
I
was
also
good.
like how they added
Storyline.
I remember, I guess, whenever they first added the you can use their an enemy as a meat shield.
Yes. You know what I love about 2 the best? The chainsaw dueling.
Yeah, I think that was the first one. That was the first time we can really
rapidly
do
what press B.
chainsaw.
That was the best part of Gears
Chainsaw
of War
dueling.
2, in my opinion, was chainsaw dueling, and also the different executions. You could do the curb stomp. You could, depending on your weapon, you could, like, if you had the revolver, you bash him in the head with your revolver. If you had the sniper rifle, you flipped it over and you smashed him with the handle end of it, like a freaking just a giant bar.
Yep.
What other ones? I know the torque bow had a pretty cool one where you like took the blade into the bow and you like pushed their neck against it and sliced their head off.
I did like the torque bow.
The torque bow was solid. I would say you had Ty, you had Ben Carmine, you had Dizzy. Dizzy's funny ass, goofy, stupid self.
Yeah, I thought it was funny.
I'm trying to ragdoll myself off this derrick because it's fun when you die that way. Damn. But single player was great. The storyline was amazing. You went back into the hollow. You saw the COG go on the offensive. You definitely learned more about the Locust as a whole. I think. You had more emotional development from Dom. You had a little more emotional development from Marcus. Baird and Cole obviously still play the comedic relief. Baird was a lot less bitchy in this game, so I like that. I thought in the first game they made him super bitchy, but then like every other game he actually was like intelligent, and he's not just this asshole that whines a lot. He actually like has his value, and the team sees it, and Marcus sees it. Like in Judgment, another one, you go into the backstory of how he used to be a lieutenant, and he used to actually be a pretty solid leader. So you gotta have the differences shown. Coltrane is still Coltrane. There's no difference there. You get introduced to Colonel Hoffman for the first time. That guy's a piece of shit. Or not Colonel Hoffman, sorry, Chairman Prescott. Colonel Hoffman you get introduced to in Gears 1. You don't like him at first because he's a dick to your boy Marcus. But then you find out that he's not a total piece of shit. He's just, pretty straight-edge military guy, which I don't like them too much either, but in a combat setting, I can deal with them. Like, all right, whatever. You serve a purpose. And besides just being an asshole, you serve an actual purpose for your existence.
Man, that's exactly how I felt about you.
I know, right? That's how a lot of people feel about me. That's how I still feel about you, though.
Aw.
Yeah.
You say
it's
such
just-
kind of words.
I know. Multiplayer was the shit with Gears of War 2. I'm just gonna say it. I still think it had one of the best multiplayers to this day. Maybe not the best, but it's up there. Horde mode, actual competitive multiplayer like PvP. You had co-op campaign like you had in the first one. It was just a solid game all around. Graphics were still great. I mean, they didn't. I think they focused. What I liked about it is they focused more on gameplay over graphics with the second
Yeah, they
game.
kept it about the
'Cause the
same,
graphics
but
were already
they added
amazing,
more
right?
to the gameplay, which is nice.
Yeah. You
They
still
didn't,
had.
they didn't need to do anything with the graphics. The graphics was totally fine, at least for me. I didn't mind for that.
I thought so.
But
I
for
thought
them
so.
to
I
add
thought-
more to the gameplay was nice.
Mm-hmm. So, I say replayability. Gears of War 2 still holds it, man. It still holds up.
I like it all but 5, but yeah, that's me.
All right.
And 4's story mode I never actually completed. I like the
Yeah,
multiplayer on 4.
It's okay. 5 is good multiplayer.
Yeah, I like the 4. I haven't played 5 multiplayer, but 4 is good. That's what I've been
Yeah.
playing a lot of before.
Has solid multiplayer. 2 real quick. The boss battles in 2. Scourge. You get to fight. You actually fight Brumox more often than just once. You fight Corpsers more often than once. You have the Lambent Brumock at the end of 2. You ride a Brumock. You get to control a Brumock at one point in the last mission.
Emulsion,
I don't know,
corpse or what was it, corpse?
Yeah.
That was a good.
No.
boss?
That was Gears of War 1, but you don't fight the Emulsion Corpse. You just kill it by dropping it in the Emulsion. The Brumock kind of got radiated by the Emulsion because only his feet were in. And then, yeah. I love the scenes with Scourge. Like, I'm watching the one right now where Ty is having the chainsaw duel with Scourge on the back of the derrick. Of the little derrick they use the grind lifts to drop him into the underground with.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that, I was like, you! You also had Scourge as the Reaver, the oversized piece of shit that you kill.
Mm-hmm. Reavers of Return. I didn't like the Reaver. The Reavers
so
at
bad.
all.
Alright. Gears of War 3. Unless we had anything to add about Gears of War 2.
No.
No.
Alright.
Gears of War 3, another great game.
Queen Mira.
Yes! Oh shit, yeah. Oh, but Gears, let's F in the chat for my boy Dom, who we lost in Gears of War 3.
Yeah, that was a sad moment. Still is every when I see replays.
Oh, I don't know what's sadder. Dom finding Maria in Gears 2 or Dom sacrificing himself in Gears 3.
Just Dom sacrificing himself.
I know, it was sad. I was sadder that he had to live through putting down his own wife because she'd been so fucked up by the Gears.
Yeah, it's just at the time what the world's come to for her.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, in 3, I like the difference of the gameplay, right? I mean, I think my favorite thing from going from Gears 1 to all the other Gears is you could do the roadie run, the sprint, infinitely, right? You didn't run out and only to get killed as you stopped because you couldn't roadie run anymore.
Yep.
I like the characters you had again. The core 4, Marcus, Dom, Bear, Cole.
And then Anya.
You had Anya, who is now a playable gear. You had Sam. Sam's my favorite. Sam was a bad bitch. Sam was sexy. You had Clay Carmine, who I thought was like easily one of the most badass characters in Gears of War 3. The oldest brother to Anthony and Benjamin Carmine, the 2 Carmine brothers that are in Gears 1 and 2 respectively. I like the gameplay. I like the story. I like the end of it. I mean, there was a more of an emotional journey there for Marcus as well because you find Marcus's father, and then he loses him using the emulsion, a killing weapon at the end of the game. Um, you have just all manner of good shit. Whoever's watching, thanks for joining. Um, I'm playing Gears 2 right now, but we're doing a review of the Gears of War series as a whole. We're on Gears 3 right now. Single player was great. Graphics were still great. They were only slightly improved because they had different characters. You know, had like females, so they added like texture to the hair and shit like that to make them look normal. Because I mean, all they had was rough, super hyper masculine men, which were awesome before. But
That's
know.
okay. I mean, it was still good gameplay for
right.
single player,
But
multiplayer.
the ladies
Multiplayer.
got some love in Gears 3, so you had playable female characters, which is why I think they did a reboot with the graphics, right? You had to add texture to their, you had to change up the graphics for facial structures, for hair, for shit like that. So I think that's why you had a slight change in the graphics from 1 and 2 to 3. I would say gameplay's still great though. I mean, the difficulty curve from 1 to the rest of the games wasn't as bad though because you were able to be revived in 2 and 3 if you went down, right? I mean, that was just kind of the best part about it.
Yeah, I'd still stick with the casual or normal.
Yeah, I mean, I play on normal right now just for the funsies, but
I believe you
shit.
still have the option for the meat shield and also takedown.
You do have the meat shield. You have the different.
Like I don't even think they even took that
executions.
down after, or ever since they introduced it into.
No, that's always been a thing.
I know it's all of them through 4. I'm assuming it's
Yeah.
at 5 because I guess I don't have 5 and I never played it.
It's not bad. It gets a bad rap. It's certainly the least favorite for a lot of reasons. I think mainly because once you finish 3, you didn't really play as Marcus ever again. So it was like, well, people became so attached to Marcus as the playable main protagonist that they didn't want to play as somebody else, even though it was Marcus's son.
Adopted. I'm just kidding.
No,
No, I'm kidding.
they do explain a lot as to what happens. And we'll get into that when we talk about Gears 4 now in a sec. But gameplay's still good. Multiplayer, like I said, they added the different mode. There's the Horde, and then there's the... I forget what it was called, but where you play the Locust instead, and you go after the Gears. And so instead of you know, just surviving...
Was
you
that whenever
play-
they, I guess, first introduced where you can be the Locust or Gears?
I want to say it was 3, yeah.
I know
Maybe-
4. That's where you can do it.
Maybe I'm thinking 4 then. I thought it had it though. I know there was Horde mode again in 3 that was improved. If you ask me, they brought back Berserkers for 3, both in single player and in multiplayer. Although in single player they were the Lambent Berserkers, so it wasn't the old fashioned one. Which I thought would have been interesting to bring back if you had regular Berserkers again. But I guess they changed that.
Yeah.
I mean, Gears of War 3, again,
Another
boss
great
battles.
game.
You had Queen Mira. You had the giant bug. Her and her giant bug she fights on. You had the Lambent Berserker. You had a lot of other... And I don't remember off the top of my head, but you had more boss battles. You had more emotional development for Marcus. You saw Dom kind of come to the end of his storyline. You even saw some emotional depth out of Baird and I wouldn't say Cole, but kinda. You saw him go to Hanover, I think, and that was interesting to see. It was kind of a funnier backstory for Cole, but he still gets a little bit of a development phase.
Yeah.
So I would say difficulty again. Nothing too crazy. Since they added the ability to get revived by your teammates from Gears of War 2 onwards, the game was not as overly difficult as it was in Gears 1, where it was way less forgiving.
Or you
Although
couldn't
I
even
think
move
in
around, I
Gears,
believe, too.
Yeah, you could crawl around.
You
in
couldn't get
Gears
into
2
cover.
onward. What do you mean? When you were down?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you can't move.
In Gears
Yeah,
1, you
can't
couldn't move
cover.
around.
You couldn't move around in Gears 1. You were
No.
stuck.
Oh, I know. That's what I was
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, if you did go down, which is like very rarely, unless you're playing multiplayer. But like, I think part of the appeal of 2 and 3 is that they did have that. I forgot the Nasher, the shotgun execution uses a golf club and take their head off.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
That was good too.
That was a good
A
one.
lot of good execution moves with different weapons.
Yep. You know, I think with as far as again, difficulty wasn't that bad. Graphics in Gears 3, they weren't that much of a crazy improvement. I think they focused on gameplay rather than graphics, which I'm always in favor of if the graphics don't really need to be improved.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier.
Yep. All right.
They kept it
So before
consistent.
we go to Gears 4. Yeah, it did. Before we go to Gears 4, let's stop and take a detour at Gears Judgment, because I need to talk shit on this game for a second.
Oh boy. I mean, you can talk about that. I honestly, that's
I
another
will,
game
I'll make it
I
quick.
didn't
I
really
only
play.
played
Listen.
5 minutes of it, and I was just like, nope.
Listen, good story. You get to see more of Baird and Cole and their previous squad of Kilo. Kilo squad had former UIR Major Paddock, and you had another Onyx Guard cadet, what is his name? Sophia, something like that. Basically just added a spicy little redhead to the mix, and then you never see her again because she apparently dies sometime in the storyline. Gameplay, not bad. Interesting story. Kind of shows you more of the COG that's not as fun because they hyper fascistic and authoritarian and totalitarian and all this other shit. So it kind of paints just how fucked up their world is and their crappy government. But you know, aside from that, gameplay, listen, fun game. They changed up the controls a little bit. You can only carry 2 weapons and some grenades. You don't get to you don't get to choose between like 2 primaries and a pistol. It's like literally 2 weapons. That's it.
That's dumb.
They have challenges in the game because it's supposed to be part of the testimony and report of what happens. Because the whole game revolves around Baird and his squad putting on basically a military tribunal for disobeying a direct order from a colonel who's a piece of shit. But it adds some flavor to the game, but it also makes it incredibly challenging. Almost to the point of just pure frustration. I was playing it the other day, and these guys were playing with me, and they could just hear me cursing. So, and this was after the Coalition took over. So, listen, Coalition, what the fuck you thought you were doing with this game? Like, maybe stop smoking crack. Maybe stop listening to death metal music while you rail lines of cocaine and just act crazy. Because this game was insanely difficult, even at normal difficulty. The added challenges was almost like a little too much, and I don't know. That was just my take. And a fun game if you're looking for a challenge, if you want some extra story to the Gears of War universe. But
if you want his little side quest, go ahead and play Judgment.
yeah, you want a little side quest. You see some backstory of Baird. But now let's go to Gears of War 4, right? So we have the biggest change from the first trilogy to 4 and 5. Is it's the post-Locust era, right?
I can
So,
tell you, I
like,
played the shit out of Gears of War 4 multiplayer.
Yeah. I think
Good
I played
game.
more of that multiplayer than on
The
Gears
story
3.
I didn't play as much. I haven't got all the way through yet, but I still like the multiplayer.
Yeah. It's great. Still a great game if you ask me. I mean, it's just a different storyline.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
the
yeah,
first
that's for
one, in the first 3, you have this like post-apocalyptic feeling, especially in the first one, because in the first one it almost seemed like you were the only humans alive on the planet.
Because the robots taking over.
Yeah, now they have like you're fighting robots and shit in 4, and then until you finally they're not the Locusts, sorry, they're the Swarm. Which I hated how they changed all the names. Brumok to Swarmok. God, that was so. Oh my God, fuck off.
I didn't like it either. I didn't like when they changed
I wasn't
the
a fan of
swarm.
that change.
Just keep it as Locust.
They changed
Well,
things
they are the
that
Locusts,
they
right?
did not need to change.
They changed things that were just different, and so you had new characters, right? You had JD, the son of Marcus Phoenix, James Dominic Phoenix. You had Dell, which is JD's best friend. You had Kat, and then you had a few other characters here and there.
Oscar.
Oscar, you had... Well, Oscar was a piece of shit. I didn't like Oscar. Oscar was a little annoying bitch. There's a lot of new characters, and you do get reintroduced to Marcus. You hear more backstory about what happened after the Locust War with Marcus and the rest of the guys. You do see Barrett and Cole again towards the end there. It's just a different game. It has a different feel, different just vibe to it. I guess we'll call it that. And it wasn't bad. It was just different. It threw people off.
Yeah.
It got
Of course, which is probably I don't know how many people actually played the story compared to playing the multiplayer.
Yeah, same.
But I can tell you, I'm pretty sure now there's still a lot of people playing multiplayer.
Yeah.
Multiplayer, multipass.
Yeah. But you got to introduce all these new characters, and then you found out that Kat is the granddaughter to the Locust Queen, and that her mom is the Locust Queen's daughter. And you don't get too much on that, but I mean, still multiplayer solid. Austin knows more about the multiplayer than I do. I played a little bit, but not too much. He played the absolute pants off the multiplayer. So Austin, the multiplayer is more your domain to talk about.
Yeah, I mean it's still fun to play. I mean I haven't played it in a year, 2 years or so. I know it's been a while. I took a little break because I got kind of tired of dying every 5 seconds with a shotgun because it's all about having a shotgun. But I mean, once you get the hang of it, and you can look back on my I have some videos that I took, or I guess clips of whenever I played and got a bunch of kills and did some cool moves. But I mainly like playing. I think it was called
King of the Hill.
Yeah, King of the Hill. That was my.
Listen, Austin did cool guy shit. So ladies, he's single.
Yeah.
You're so funny.
Fuck off, Matt.
Yeah, King of the Hill. I played a lot of. Just basically, I liked whenever they had like the double XP or triple XP or whatever they have at certain points.
Yeah.
I didn't play any other games. I didn't play Horde really. It was mainly just King of the Hill for me.
I loved King of the Hill. That, and before we really had, online games back in the day, I remember playing King of the Hill with my friends all the time. You go over their house, and that was the game you played. I don't know if you guys remember that, or if you guys ever had that.
I remember playing Red Rover.
I remember playing King of the Hill. We just got a little violent with it, and then we just had to stop playing because kids were getting hurt.
What were you guys doing?
We're on the playground. We're on that dome, jungle gym looking thing, and whoever could stay on top of it the longest and hold it was the king. So we got violent. Listen, we chose violence those days. All right, that was my king. I was the king of the hill.
We weren't violent at all.
Well, because you're a bitch.
We also played a game, excuse my language, Smear the Queer. That was actually actually a
oh my
game.
God. Smear the Queer.
Well, I was
only
say it once, but okay.
I don't. Okay, listen. This was a game.
It's not derogatory
we played
anywhere. It's
exactly.
It's basically you tackle the person that has the ball. It was the name of the game.
It's basically rugby.
Yeah, it's like rugby. But
No,
everybody, it's you versus everyone, though.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I've heard rugby described as that game, by an Australian man who played rugby in Australia, and God damn, that game was rugby is ruthless. So is.
I can't imagine playing it as an adult.
We'll call it STQ because we can't say it on Twitch because Twitch is sensitive.
STQ, but I mean, I can't imagine playing that as an adult now. I think I'd hurt myself.
Well, you do play. It's called rugby. You just play rugby now. That is exactly what that game is. All right. Like, that was so great.
Yeah. Sorry, did I bring back some memories there?
It did. Sorry.
Flashbacks.
This video game review was also turned into a review of our childhoods. And we're all old.
Well, I mean, but a lot of these are games are nostalgic in a lot of ways, and when you think about the things that you did on video games, you think about what you did with friends, and because you couldn't play video game. I mean, we could play video games like nonstop all night, and if your parents didn't bother you, you'd just stay up all night and you'd play with your friends until the wee hours of the morning, and then while you're still playing, the game's still going, and you're both like all falling asleep like on a pillow or something.
I can't tell you how many times I played Xbox Live until 4 a.m. with friends of mine. Whether it was these two guys here doing this review with me, or if it was my friend Jordan or my friend Sean. Like we would stay up playing Rainbow Six Vegas 2, Mass Effect 3, Call of Duty, Halo. I mean, you name it, we played it. And we played it to the wee hours of the morning, especially on the weekend, and even sometimes on the weekdays. I mean, I would get up and go to school, and then I'd come home, and homework would get knocked out real quick if I didn't knock it out at school in one of my free times. But that was just, dude, that was what we did. It was fun times. Carefree time, a more innocent time, a more carefree time for sure.
I can try and pull an all-nighter, but only during the weekend.
I mean, I haven't pulled an all-nighter because nowadays I'm on the rebound, so I'm going out and stuff. Going out and getting punani. Oh yeah.
Okay.
But,
anyways, let's get this review going.
So Gears 5, the last installment, the most recent.
I will let y'all
installment
talk
of the
about
Gears
that.
lore.
I never played. I never touched
Saga. Different take. You start the game off as JD, Marcus's son, and you end the game as Kat. And this is where you find out where Queen Mira came from. This is where you find out where just the Locust got created. You find out they were really made by man, right? You fight a berserker, and it's a lot of fun. It's a good game, quality gameplay. It gets shit on a lot because you don't see a lot of Marcus. You don't really play Marcus at all. And there's an emotional bit towards the end of the game where they haven't decided which one's the canon ending, or if it'll be kind of like Mass Effect where you upload the ending and see where it goes from there. But one of the endings is you have to sacrifice JD or Dell to save the other, and that was a rough one. I think the canon ending though is going to be that JD survives and Dell dies, and you see JD kind of go down this rabbit hole, and you're gonna see him either develop or kind of go down the path of Dom, right? Loses his best friend and kind of goes a little crazy and all this other stuff. You learn more about the backstory behind Marcus and Anya having JD, because apparently Anya couldn't do it. And there's like a COG fertility program or some shit where one of the side effects was that Anya ended up dying because of it, because of effects on her body. That was really sad to find out about. Solid story. You see another Carmine that unfortunately dies pretty quickly, but it was the niece of Clay Carmine, so they did introduce a new Carmine, but unfortunately that Carmine passed away, and it was a Lady Carmine. So of course they introduce a Lady Carmine, and she gets wrecked within the first 2 acts of the game. So all the feminists were like, "Wee!"
They never last.
They never last. Solid multiplayer though. Little bit there. They had a lot of game modes to play. Horde mode. You had the other one where I think they had the other one. But there's a funny little thing that if you had Halo Reach on your
Wait, did you say horde mode?
Horde.
Horde mode?
Yes, like your mom.
Oh!
Oh!
Hey, she's put a lot of food on the table, man.
She's obviously good at her job.
Eh. Oh.
Oh boy.
Gonna like cock.
Uh-huh.
Listen, don't keep this pony show going, but um,
Hey, it's a
no.
donkey. It's not a pony.
All right, good enough.
Luis! Your services are needed.
Um,
You get it. By the way, if you guys don't know, my roommate's Mexican. That's why it's so funny.
okay.
Because it's always some Hispanic guy that's doing the jerking off.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Oh boy. Sorry,
moving on from
YouTube viewers.
Sorry, guys. Well, you have graphics, good graphics, I guess. I mean, what I liked about the Gears 4 and 5 is, again, it seemed like they did enough graphics updates where, like, you know, it'd been a few years since Gears of War 3 came out, so it was warranted for an update, but it wasn't like it wasn't so much that they focused so heavily on graphics to substitute focusing on gameplay again. I think that was one thing that Epic Games did really well, even when they became the Coalition. Multiplayer was solid. If you had either Master Chief Collection or Halo Reach on your hard drive, you would get Cat and Emil from Halo Reach as playable characters in Gears of War 5. And they had their own little special abilities. One of them drops a bubble shield. I forget what the other one's able to do, but they're both cool playable characters. It's kind of funny to see them in a Gears of War game using
That's
Lancers
weird.
and shit. It is also a bit unfortunate to watch them get blown apart if you know, get wrecked by the enemy. If they like come through with a shotgun and you're not watching your ass. So, difficulty, it wasn't really that hard to play, even normal, or again, I didn't really play hardcore too much, but normal mode wasn't too unforgiving. It was kind of like the original. It was like any other game besides Gears 1, and a solid game, really. I mean, I think it has replayability. I think it exposes a lot of the storyline. You get to go back. You go back to the New Hope research facility. You go back to a lot of places from before. So it does kind of take you down memory lane a little bit. And it's interesting to hear Marcus explain to Kat and Dell and the others that what happened, what they did during the Locust War. And so it's just interesting. But yeah,
Sounds interesting.
It's worth downloading to play, I would say.
I'd have to
It's
get through
definitely
the
a
first
worthwhile
or the Gears
installation in the
of.
series.
I have to get through 4's story.
Well, I'll be re-downloading 5 here probably in the next week or so. So if you ever want to do that, I'm down to play it with you. It'd be fun. I'd played it with my buddy Robert when he was playing through it. So what am I doing? I'm using the mortar. Give me the mortar
I'll have to
too.
do 4 first and then 5. But first I
Yeah.
want to continue from number 1. Go in order again.
Yeah. It's a good series to replay, for sure.
Now that it's actually replayable, which is nice. It's a good way to go down memory lane.
It's
And looks like it never left.
replayable if you have Xbox Ultimate Game Pass or whatever it's officially called. But
Or if
you
you
can
bought
re-download
Gears
them
of
all. You
War
can re-download Gears of War
4, I
Ultimate
think.
Edition.
I think it was Gears of War 4. I think the reason how I got all the other Gears of War games for backwards compatibility was probably because of I think I got the Ultimate Edition for Gears of War 4, something like that. And then it came with the download codes.
Yeah, I mean they had I know the Ultimate Edition Anniversary Edition of Gears 1 came out prior to the release of Gears of War 4.
Yeah.
And I think it was in
I know the
anticipation
Ultimate
of Gears
Edition
of
is
War
just
4.
the number 1, right?
It's one remastered cutscenes, graphics, and gameplay mechanics, along with one or two extra. It's like one extra act of gameplay in the single player campaign. So it's
It just
it's pretty
doesn't come
good.
with the other games.
Yeah, I mean, can't be perfect, but it did its best.
Yeah. It's all good.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, Gears of War 5 I think has some solid replayability. I think all of it was a solid game. It's just some people have different feelings about it because of they want to play Marcus and they don't like new characters, they don't like change, and you're not really fighting the Locust, blah 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 blah.
Everyone has their reasons.
Mm-hmm. That's a good game. And I got nothing else on Gears 5. I don't know if anybody else played it.
I don't think Justin played it. No, I never played it.
Not.
Yeah.
Radio
Well-
kids never played it.
Never played what?
Gears of War 5.
I have not played Gears of War 5. No.
Alright.
Yeah, it went downhill for that part. I guess for every other gamer for the most part who liked Gears of War, unless they really wanted to try it out. But I didn't see any need to at that time.
Yeah. I would recommend at least one playthrough.
Yeah, I'll play it whenever it goes on sale, probably, or if it's free.
Yeah.
That's about it. I won't spend if it's still like what $20 or $30. I wouldn't spend that much money for it.
Yeah. Well, listen, I don't know. That was our review of the Gears of War series as a whole.
Yep. That was a good episode.
This,
I know
we
it's
might
short,
do it like
everybody.
this.
Yes, the midweek. This is our first episode for the midweek reviews for games, and we started off with the Gears of War series. And these will be shorter than our usual podcast episodes.
Yep.
But I'll also be posting this on YouTube as well.
Same here.
Don't forget, follow the Twitch, follow them on YouTube, follow me on YouTube, follow your boy Slick Ricky Bobby on Instagram for the hottest memes on the internet, and follow Radio Kid 93 as well, because
Yes.
even though he's the court jester of our podcast, we love him.
Absolutely. People love me for that.
Is that why they love you?
Well, no, but still they could.
Yeah, I posted the link in the Twitch chat, so anyone who's viewing can join if they haven't already.
Yeah, hang on.
Join if you like it.
Let me do that.
Discord, Thunderdome podcast community, and that's all I got. It's a short little get together, little romp through the gaming history we do. But unless anybody else has got anything to add, I think I got nada.
Can't wait for this hopefully upcoming Saturday. We should be having our next podcast episode.
Mm-hmm.
We will keep everyone updated in the Discord as well. So just keep an eye out on that.
Yeah, just keep your eyes out, guys. We'll be back on this weekend. All right.
All right. Peace out,
Mhm.
everybody.
All right.